the most prestigious, hard-hitting, no BS taking journalists on the planet, aka the Young Turks. I guess after this last fourth GOP presidential debate, the Young Turks thought they were going to have a Democratic debate. A couple of people I didn't even know was running. They had a Marianne Williamson, a Dean Phillips, and the one and only Cenk Uygur, aka Brown Buffalo, aka Chunk Yogurt. Wasn't much of a fucking debate. Kind of just a agreement session between the lot of them. And had old John Iderola for the moderator of it. So we gonna check out this here clip of the Democratic presidential debates on the Young Turks network. See how much journalism and these folks got within them. You with me? Let's fucking do it.
A number of different topics were raised during the Republican debate, but I noticed a few that didn't come up. They're minor issues, but some people are really into them. And apologies if they were briefly mentioned, but little things like mass shootings and gun violence, climate change, other than Vivek Ramaswamy using his literal closing remarks to ensure that we all know that he does not believe that it exists.
You know, when I heard that, I was like, wait a second. Vivek said that he didn't believe climate change exists? And I'm just like, okay, John, you're gonna have to prove this to me. You're gonna have to, because I don't take nothing the Young Turks tell me for nothing. At least with me. I know there's a lot of folks who somehow find themselves Young Turk fans. But I hear old John tell me that Vivek said in his closing statement that he literally believes that climate change doesn't exist. Hey, Vivek, you want to clear that up from my man John here?
Mr. Ramaswamy?
I'll use this to just address a topic we didn't talk about tonight, but I think is one of the most important topics that needs to be discussed. That is this climate change agenda that is shackling this country like a set of handcuffs. I said it at the first debate and I stand by it. The climate change agenda is a hoax.
It's a little different, potato patata to old John Iderola there. I'd argue that's a little different, and I'm just gonna let Vivek continue and clarify what he means.
Because it has nothing to do with the climate. That's what we have to see. 98% reduction in the climate disaster-related deaths in the last century. 8 times as many people are going to die of cold temperatures this year than warm ones. Yet against that backdrop, there's an issue coming up in Iowa. It's core to Iowa farmers. I met Kim Junker, Kathy Stockdale, and other farmers who are about to have a carbon capture pipeline built across their land using eminent domain to do it.
Carbon capture pipeline.
Carbon capture pipeline.
First I ever heard of that. I'd never heard that combination of words ever in my life. Carbon capture pipeline. Had to go look it up. But what the fuck is that? What the fuck is a carbon capture pipeline? So it turns out the federal government spending all the taxpayer dollars, combat climate change, spending billions on billions. They got a company who will build a pipeline that captures carbon. And within the pipe leads to a system in which it separates the gases from one another. And then they take the carbon that's removed from it and pipe it down into the earth. So billions of dollars being spent on this shit. And I'm assuming that's a big chunk of Vivek's argument. Not that climate change isn't real. Everybody knows the climate fucking changes. It's to the extent in which humans have got a hand in it. What the difference it will ultimately make or not, depending on what the rest of the fucking world does, while we're just handcuffing ourselves, digging our own selves in a hole that's just crippling the economy. But I just heard that, dude. Carbon capture pipeline. That's some old fucking, bro. Bro, if somebody wanted to do that on their own, more fucking power to them. If a motherfucker wants to build a carbon capture pipeline themselves and do it with their own money, do it. But to think we gonna take our tax dollars and spend money on that, pumping carbon into the fucking middle of the earth. I mean, bro, they was talking about in the same article that I read about it, how they'll use the carbon removed from it to euthanize livestock. I mean, but okay, John Iderola.
That's unconstitutional and it's wrong. And if you thought COVID was bad, what's coming with this climate agenda is far worse. We should not be bending the knee to this new religion. That is what it is. It is a substitute for a modern religion, We are flogging ourselves and losing our modern way of life.
100%. It is the substitute of a religion. Hyperbole, don't care how the studies was made, what proves what proved don't. It don't fucking matter to these people. It is all just what makes them feel good. Oh, I'm helping save the fucking earth. Motherfuckers have just been hijacked into this mindset where it's just, it's coming. Armageddon's coming. It's next week. It's too late. It's too late. If you don't do nothing now, it's too late.
Wages, infrastructure, including train derailments. Ukraine, other than constant discussion about the names of eastern provinces, which, Mr. Ramaswamy, they're not provinces, they're oblasts.
Oblasts. They're not provinces, Mr. Ramaswamy. They're oblasts. And he said that with some cockiness too, didn't he?
Which, Mr. Ramaswamy, they're not provinces, they're oblasts.
I heard that and I was like, the fuck is an oblast? Sounds Russian. I don't know. I ain't never in my life heard oblasts. So I had to go look it up. Oblast is a Russian region. Translated into English means a province. Like this motherfucker just swore he just made the god awful greatest goddamn point to make Ramaswamy look like a fool when he made Nikki Haley look like a fool because she couldn't name the 3 Ukrainian provinces that she wants to send troops to.
I want everybody at home to note that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea.
It's just a build of just nonsense from these people. It's just so just bad faith in every sense you could ever imagine. I struggle imagining the people who subscribe to the Young Turks. The type of person who just watches them as if thinking what they're getting is open-minded honesty, just a good faith interpretation of what's going on and what's what. Because it ain't.
Islamophobic hate crimes. There was a lot of talk about anti-Semitism, but not about Islamophobia. There was talk about Gaza, but no discussion of civilian deaths in Gaza. No discussion of the opioid epidemic outside of fentanyl contamination. And as a new parent, I thought maybe talking about paid family leave.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like, what, they have a week on this debate stage to talk about everything John fucking Iderola thought they should have been talking about? Ain't that what you all be talking about? Was it a 2-hour debate? I mean, goddamn, you got 4 people up there for 2 hours. Is that 30 minutes apiece? Minus the moderators and all the questions and back and forth and shit that goes with stuff. Motherfuckers probably had 20 minutes apiece to talk. You just knocked off like 10 different fucking subjects that you brought half of it. Well, they kind of talk about this, but they didn't talk about that. Well, they talk about that, but they ain't talk about this. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like, who the fuck is watching the Young Turks?
So I want to turn to you, Cenk, first. Any of these topics or anything else that wasn't raised, what do you think was worthy of discussion?
Yeah, so this is exactly why we should have Democratic debates. Because if the average American watched just the Republican debate tonight, they would probably think, oh my God, I guess the country hates gay people and trans people. Probably think, oh my God, I guess the country hates gay people and trans people.
Cenk, you fucking crazy. You're fucking crazy, Cenk. If the average person watched the GOP debates, they would have just thought that they hate gay people and trans people. Yeah, no, that's completely just a reasonable fucking interpretation of what the Republican debate was, right? Just that they hate gays and hate the trans, right? And I'm sure we're about to get a lesson in journalism though, right, Chunk?
And wants to invade China and Mexico and Gaza.
Invade China, Mexico, and Gaza. Where the fuck you get any of that from? Who the fuck was on the GOP stage talk about they want to invade China, Mexico, and Gaza? My question to you at home, have you ever heard a Republican talk about let's invade China or Mexico or Gaza? Fuck me, bro.
And they would have never heard the Democratic side. So here the points that we have made are so diametrically opposed to the points that the Republicans have made. And by having this forum, we're at least getting that message out, which is exactly what we need to do.
What message? You ain't gave out a message yet. You just been hyperbolic and bad faith about everything the fucking Republicans do for the last 5 minutes. The fuck out of here. We're so diametrically opposed. No, you're not, motherfucker. You want to send the money to the Ukraine. You want to do all the same sucker shit all the Democrats want to do, plus more. Plus more. That ain't even enough. You want them doing more.
We invite Joe Biden to do it with us. So now in terms of those issues, look, paid family leave, you're a little wrong, John. It's not above 70%. Well, it is above 70%, but it's not in that ballpark. It's at 84%. 84%. So Estonia has 82 weeks off for moms who have babies.
82 weeks. That's like a year and a quarter. That's like what, 14, 15 months? I ain't the math, motherfucker. But goddamn, that's got to be at least a good year and a quarter, right? Year and a half? A year and a half for Estonia? This motherfucker brought up Estonia. You know how many motherfuckers in Estonia? I'm talking about in the entirety of Estonia. Not just the capital, not just a couple cities, but the entirety of a population of the country of Estonia. That's got 82, 84 weeks, whatever the fuck he said. 1 million people. There's 1 million fucking people in the country of Estonia. And yet you're somehow talking as if the country of the United States with over 350 million people is comparable to Estonia giving out a damn near year and a half for fucking paid family leave. Bro, that fucking vast covering of what a paid family leave is and what it means to every single different person and what it would mean to every single different business is so fucking wide in range and scope that it's not just as simple as what a majority of people want it. I mean, the people's answered the survey. So, I mean, that tells you, like, people want paid family leave. Make it law. Let's not get into the specifics of nothing. Let's not get real down to the nitty gritty of exactly what would be in the law and what it would mean to each business, whether it be a small hardware on the corner or a Walmart coast to coast. The intricacies of all that shit is so fucking in the weeds that these motherfuckers wouldn't even attempt to discuss it. They just bring up Estonia. Estonia has got 84 weeks of paid family leave. I mean, why don't we? Fucking why don't we? Look, give a motherfucker a year and a half off. The business will figure it out. The coffee shop that shorty work out, they'll be able to figure it out. They'll be able to pay mama for a year and a half while she takes care of the baby. Yo, you gonna just make it to where don't nobody want to hire a woman. That's what that'll end up coming down to. Motherfuckers will figure out a way, especially the big businesses. The smaller businesses, you'll just crush. Make them close their fucking doors with all the regulations and shit y'all want to put on every goddamn body. The big boys will figure out ways around all of it. They'll figure out one way or another to get their money back and let y'all do whatever else y'all want to do and squash all their competition in a sense of smaller businesses. But that's a little more detailed than what Chunk would ever want to get on his fucking Young Turks corny ass debate. It's just all platitudes and headlines. All fucking emotional rhetoric that just gets you like, yeah, man, people should have family paid leave. Estonia's got how many weeks? And we ain't got none in law? Because businesses don't do that, right? Of course there's not businesses that actually offer paid family leave and coverage and all the things that you would negotiate in getting a job. Bro, it's just so bad faith. It's so fucking just platitudes and rhetoric with fucking Young Turks.
Let's take the issue of climate change. Guys, we're running out of time.
Be afraid. Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. The climate's changing. We're running out of fucking time. Fucking just let the feds do whatever they need to do. Go build carbon capture pipelines across the fucking country. Because it don't matter what China or India or any other fucking nation in the world's doing, right? Because I'm sure we can fucking completely counter all of the stuff that they're doing, right? It wouldn't be complete fucking utter country self-deletion with all the fucking shit they want to do and make happen and the money that's just flushed down the fucking toilet. Because any little bit of something you all would imagine is countering climate change. There's 100 other fucking goddamn countries around this globe that are completely countering that out. Complete 10 times whatever it is that we're fucking countering by spending billions of fucking year in carbon capture pipelines. Every other fucking country on the planet don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. I'm not saying we shouldn't give a fuck. Of course we should give a fuck. But we shouldn't cut our nose off to spite our fucking face to make ourselves feel like we're doing something. Do something. Do it now. Because we're running out of time.
And these lunatics are talking about we're not giving the oil companies enough. Vivek Ramaswamy on the one hand says, oh, I'm against corruption. On the other hand, he says, no, we should let the oil companies take even more oil out and profit from it. And then when they have the cost of climate change, we should pay it. The taxpayers should pay it.
The cost of climate change? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Why don't they pay it? That's an externality of their business. That is a cost of their business. They should pay for it. Every time there's this extreme hurricane or tornado or whatever it might be caused by climate change, we should send the bill to ExxonMobil.
Hurricane, tornado. What, bro, these motherfuckers like live on another actual fucking planet. And it just, I can only imagine like their fan base just watching it. And they're just on the edge of their seat. Next month, fucking Armageddon, end of the world. That old 1980s televangelist. Fucking, I'm calling it into the world in 2 years and fucking make sure you do all this and that before it. It's the same emotional manipulation that just fires these clowns up because they're not going to ask no questions because they've been hit from every fucking angle, from anything that the Fed has promoted or done through the Department of Education and all the other fucking shit that they promote and push that just gets these kids scared of their own shadow, half of them. Got the fucking nerve talk about we gonna send Exxon the bill when a hurricane come. Yeah, no, because hurricanes wasn't around 400 years ago, right? Tornadoes wasn't coming around 1,000 years ago when there wasn't nobody driving around in Corvettes and shit, right?
I want to finish with just one more question, very similar to the way that the debate actually finished. And this will be brief, but it's incredibly serious. Marianne, I want to ask you what they were all asked. Who do you draw inspiration from?
Franklin Roosevelt, absolutely. He said a necessitous man is not a free man. We have the highest poverty rate of any advanced democracy, including child poverty. He also talked about not only freedoms to, but also freedoms from want and freedom from fear.
Freedom from want, freedom from fear. How the fuck you think you're gonna accomplish that? Oh, I mean, I couldn't be no more serious. How the fuck you think you're gonna accomplish freedom from want, freedom from fear? Imagine the fucking mentality of somebody who's going around thinking that that's what the government needs to fucking produce for its people. That is impossible on a scale that is unfucking measurable. Never have a limit. There'd never be an end. There would never fucking be enough with these type of people. Fucking free from want, free from fear. Go fucking live in prison. Go get yourself locked up. You won't have another want another day of your life. They gonna feed you. If you're scared, they'll put you in a cell where you never come out. You won't never have to worry about nobody touching you because you'll live the rest of your life in a room the size of a closet. You get sick, they'll take you to a doctor. Get a toothache, they'll take you to the dentist. You fucking hungry, here comes breakfast. You need a bed, here's a fucking book thick mattress you can fucking sleep on. Free from want, free from fear. Bro, that is like, I can't even put a fucking word to it of how absolute fucking insane that actually is. And then to think you would ever imagine it's something you could accomplish in a country with 350 million people, where 349,999,987 of them want something different than the next motherfucker. But yet you can just fucking imagine like the sheer fucking I don't know if it's hubris or if it's just like, bro, I can't even put a word behind somebody thinking that you could create a world that's free from want and free from fear. That'd be some 1980 fucking shit if I've ever heard it in my fucking life.
Representative Phillips, who do you draw inspiration from?
I'll tell you, when it came to resisting Donald Trump, I draw inspiration from my two daughters who woke up the morning after the 2016 election, both in tears.
In tears, bro? Your daughters woke up in tears the day after Trump got elected? And these are the people, bro. These are the fucking people running to be president of the United fucking States of America. Could you imagine what our forefathers are fucking like, bro, if there is some sense of an afterlife and they're all up there looking down on us and they're watching this and they're just... What did Elon say the other day? Elon said something about, dude asked about Walt Disney. Elon said, man, Walt Disney is in his coffin spinning like a drill bit.
Well,
And I
you have
think
to wonder, what would Walt Disney think of the company that is his namesake today?
I'm telling you what.
I mean, I think Walt Disney's turning in his grave faster than a drill bit.
I can't. Well,
That's what the forefathers of this goddamn country are doing. They're sitting back and they're watching these people that are running for these positions, that are in the Senate seat, House of Representatives, chick fucking Yogurt, the Young Turks, this chick Marianne fucking Williamson, Dean Phillips. This motherfucker talk about he takes inspiration because he woke up the day after Trump got elected and his daughters were crying. You shouldn't even admit that on television. You shouldn't let nobody outside of your house let them know that your family is that emotionally damaged. Bro, it's just like, I can't even imagine. I'm trying to tell you, I had this conversation not a fucking week or two ago. I'm happy I'm not even going to be around in 10, 20, 50, whatever fucking years it is. I'm lucky long enough to get a life out of. But I'm happy I'm not going to see 2 generations from now and how fucking just padded, bubbled, bougie bitches they fucking are. Because I can't fucking imagine. You hear this motherfucker talk about his daughters woke up crying after the day Trump got elected.
Emotional damage.
I promised them at the breakfast table I would do something to bring this country back together, to bring peace to the world.
Bring peace to the world. Fuck me, bro. I'm done. I can't listen to another fucking sentence of these motherfuckers, bro. It's just I watched a couple clips of this Democratic presidential debate and I felt it encapsulated so much of just how insane these motherfuckers on the left are today. The mainstream, like ones that are gonna run for office, they got to play by those rules that the modern Democrat Party insists on playing upon. The victim mindset, the just emotionally driven insanity that just, it encompasses every fucking thing. And then got the nerve to be talk about, oh man, we just need hope. We just need hope. We just need hope. We're running on hearts and hope.
And yes, do it with love and hope in our hearts so that we could win together, for not just for Democratic voters, but for the whole country.
You motherfuckers are running on Looney Tunes shit. Free from want, free from fear. There's only one place. There's only one place, well, 2 places. There's only 2 places that exists. Prison, death. I don't want neither of those. And to anybody who does and thinks you can accomplish it through the fucking United States fucking government, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. You shouldn't be allowed to vote. You shouldn't have internet access. You shouldn't have a phone that fucking works, that you can reach out and tell other people that fucking message. Fuck that.